Hey, how's it going, everybody? Yeah, yeah, I got to mute myself here. I thought I'd go live. It's the end of the night. I turned off the TV and I had to charge my watch. So I figured while I would charge my watch, I would test out, I would do something. A lot of times when I need to take a break and relax my brain, I work on something that I would normally think it was difficult. I need to put it in the description of this video, however, that I did get the sound that I did in the audio, because I use Epidemic Sound for my other Elevated Awesome channel. And so I can put music on there and doesn't get any hits. But if I wanted to do one on this tech channel that I'm going to start, and that's the thing, is like sometimes, honestly, I don't know what I want to call it. So the channel that I'm working on, where I want to communicate any of my nerd tech stuff. I just figured right now, because I had to create a handle for it in YouTube. So I named it Matt Berry Tech. I figured it was appropriate. It's kind of my field. It is really my niche. I do have a lot to talk about with that. So right now I just did it Matt Berry Tech. So when I do live streams like that, um, it's typically when you're doing live streams, it's like you just don't normally want to just go right live. But at least when you're doing whatever, if you're watching a video, typically there's going to be a little intro or whatever. Now, granted, my live stream wait is a bit long, but it's normal for a live stream sometimes. So I figured, one of the cool things when I would go on Canva or whatnot to try and look up items for um, just to make graphics, um, to have like lower thirds and titles and stuff like that, I would use Canva and everything else. But I wanted to do something interesting. And I came up with a couple, there was few neon effects I saw. I'm like, oh my God, that works really well. So one thing I typically will use, I have a whole Adobe suite that I normally will edit videos in, create captions. I spent a lot of money with Adobe products, and one product I've never ever really used was um, my was After Effects. It's always part of there, but I always feel that it's too complicated to work on. And which, yeah, I guess you could say it is. But I always stayed away from it because of I thought that, well, shoot, it's really complicated, and I have to really spend a lot of time focusing on how to do things like that, everything. And so I thought I would just give it a try. So in order to do this, in order to test it out, I created a new profile on my broadcasting software. I use Ecamm Live. I'll have to put the description on that too. If anybody wants to start it with that, I've got a link on there where you could try it. It's great. They have it's wonderful. If you really want to elevate your Zoom or Teams calls, I do it all the time. I always get complimented on how great my video is. But basically, I get this looking really good, and then I make my broadcast software a virtual camera, and then I can use that virtual camera in anything I do, like Zoom and stuff like that. So sometimes I need to get used to stop saying and stuff like that. Well, okay. So I'm going to create a new scene here. I'm going to create a new scene here, and I'm going to make this scene. I'm going to do a screen share, and oh my gosh, it popped up right away. That's so awesome. Show the current application. No, I'm going to show. I believe this is the primary screen. It is, so that way it makes a little full screen. I'm not going to have the pop up like that. I'm going to just make a camera overlay. That's a little too big. I'm going to change this real quick. I'm going to make it the overlays in front of it. I don't need it wide. I'm just going to make it a circle. Perfect. Size it down just a little bit. Hey, and by the time I'm done with this, maybe I can, maybe my watch will be charged so I can go to bed. I love my Apple Watch Ultra, guys. It used to be with my older Apple Watch. I would have to constantly charge it every day. It seemed like it, I don't know, over time. I had the Apple Watch um 4, and it just got to the point where the battery just drop and drop and drop and drop. With this Apple Watch Ultra, that's not charged yet. Um, I was like, I love it. It's great. It lasts. The battery lasts for quite a while. I think I wind up actually having to charge it every 2.5, 3 days or so. It's really nice. Um, so honestly, so this is After Effects here. Again, this is one of the programs that comes with Adobe Creative Suite. One of the programs I've had forever and I've never done anything with it. But I saw a similar neon effect on Canva. It was just an animated one, something somebody already did and made it into a video. It was really cool. And I'm just like, you know what? I would really like to try and duplicate that and see if I can make that my own. So, what I'm going to do here on this one, I didn't figure I was going to do this, but I'm just going to do it anyways. I'm going to go ahead and what I did, how I did this basically, I'm just going to unhide all this stuff. And I'm going to create, let's see, I'm going to create a new solid layer. God, when you do this live, you just never know. We're just going to say solid for live. Solid for live. And yeah, that pixel's fine. So we'll just go ahead and leave a solid layer here. Basically, everything with any kind of graphics programs uses layers. Layers are like onions. Anyways, onions have layers and graphic design programs have layers too. So if you see like a background picture and you've got stuff over that, every time you see those things, like when I throw text on something, it's a layer. So we just created a new solid layer, which basically is just another layer. Like I just put a new sheet over everything that I did before. This is not how you would normally do it. Normally we'd create a new project or new composition, but I'm just doing it this way. I'm going to make the saber effect. One of the cool things, Video Copilot made a plugin for this called Saber. It just has so many cool effects. It's really, really great. So I'm just going to do the Saber effect. This is a free download that you can add to After Effects. So what's really cool with this is that once you've applied the Saber effect to this solid layer, we're going to go ahead and on this one, we're just going to go ahead and create a mask. So I'm going to click on here and I'm trying to get to a circle. 1 second. You know, nothing really works when you're live. Hey, we're going to do a square. What do you think? What do you say? So I'm just going to make a square just like that. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to expand the customize core on the saber effect. I'm going to change the core type from saber, what you're looking at right now. And I'm actually going to apply the effect to the layer mask that I just drew. And if you saw in the intro earlier, I had text on there. So if I wanted to apply this saber effect to text, I could do that too. I would just have to create a text layer and then add it to that, and it would make the effect on the text, which I'll probably show you in just a second. Anyway, so we're going to apply it to the layer mask, and voila, we have this neon, well, this saber effect on here. Okay, and it's real simple. Right now, it's just basic blue. It's the default. But the cool thing about this is we can go through and select different stuff. There's arc reactor. There's, burning. You can do a firestorm. I mean, there's just all kinds of things. One of the really cool effects is Patronus. That looks really nice. And just to change it to any other color, like most of the ones I'm doing on this channel are blue and purple and a little orange in there because I like that contrast. It's nice. And hey, you know, blue and orange are complementary colors. So we've got the Patronus effect, and we also have the neon effect. And that's what I had on that. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to create a um, an animation. I'm going to adjust some of the effects of this. I'm going to put the start size to about 85, and I'm going to do the end size to about 30. This is going to make a little bit of a trail. And then I'm going to take the and it was, you know, I'm a rookie with this, okay? So I'm going to click on here, and about the, let's see, I would say the 1 second mark, I'm going to expand it out a little bit. It'll take a little bit to render, but not too bad. But I'll just start at the half second mark. I'm going to change this to 90. This will spin pretty fast, but I just don't want it. It's going to render kind of quickly. We're going to do another keyframe. The other one was 90. We're going to make this 180. We're going to make this 270. And then at the 2 second mark, we're going to make it do a full rotation, or it ends that rotation anyway. So if you look at it, there we go. It should basically just kind of trace a little bit like this. I think, honestly, I need to change the end offset to 0. And I screwed that up. So hold on a second. The end offset. Well, actually, it's the end size that needs to be 100, and it's the end offset. Woo! See, that's one of the things is when you start doing these things live, you kind of get a little bit of an appreciation for it. So, all right. So I didn't change any of that. So I was just, what I did is I just hit U, which basically shows me all the keyframes that I have set up for this. But anyways, I did mess up. So it's the offset that I'm supposed to adjust. So let's go ahead and make that 30. There we go. And then with that, that'll help trace it. See, you know, the best thing when you're learning something is just do it live. Just do it live. Okay, so we like that effect. That effect looks pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this effect right now. I'm going to duplicate it. I swear I am. Hold on a second. Solid for live. Just make sure I'm doing it. And that's Control D. That gives me another one. I'm going to hit U and expand out my keyframes on this one. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to blow out the keyframes. I'm going to create a new keyframe here, and we're going to start. We started that one off at 0. I'm just going to change it a little bit. We're going to start off at 180. I'm sure there's an easier way to do it. And, you know, practice makes progress. So the more you do things, the better you get. So just keep trying. That's all I got to say to that one. We're going to make this 360. Whoa, I didn't need that one. Okay, 1 second. Bye-bye. All right, got to change that to 0 because it's the start. We're making it 180. We're going to keyframe this. Okay. We're going to change that to 270. And then we're going to make this one 360. $90, going back, ending at 180. Hopefully I did this right. You know, I don't have the utmost confidence in myself. So let's just go ahead and change this now to blue. There we go. So watch this. Okay, so we've got that one, but where'd the pink one go? Well, I said that they were layers, right? We're doing layers. So what I'm going to do, this one is on top of the pink one that I did just prior. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this layer and I'm going to go over to the render. Instead of being black, I'm just going to make it transparent. So that way we'll be able to see both of them. And then you can see, look how they follow each other. Isn't that cool? And then so I can just hit play. Typically when I hit play on this, it should take a bit to render, but actually not that bad because I did make it 2 seconds. So that is a nice little basic, yeah, that's a little basic effect of it. And the thing is, when you start working on this stuff, like I'm gonna say, so many years, I just simply avoided this program because I was afraid of it. It just looked too complicated. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to get it right. And you know what? I've spent about off and on a couple hours here and there. I've spent, about a week, working on this, kind of figuring out what this and that does and all that jazz. And I gotta tell you, it was pretty nice. I don't feel so intimidated by it anymore. And I need to, and I want to start using it more. So that's the thing is like, and here, let me just show you real quick. I should be able to, hopefully I can just bounce out of it. And we keep the 80s music going. But I figured that was kind of perfect. It was a perfect fit for the neon and everything else. So we will just see. But that was it. I wanted to test out the intro. I thought it was really awesome. When this is done, I will post or paste in the description of the video because the music came from creatormix.com. So I will go ahead and post up that link in the description to make sure I give credit where credit is due. But that's it. After Effects. It's not so scary after all. Honestly, you can learn anything. Just give it a try. Put your head. Once I start playing the guitar, I can say that. Practice what I am not preaching. But that's it. Hey, try something new. I'm going to be back in a couple days with another After Effects tutorial. It'll be pretty cool. So everybody have an amazing day. Good night. Bye, guys.